So the area I'm looking at, I tend to focus on dementia and ethnic minorities, and I specifically look at British South Asians because I'm South Asian myself. So what we're seeing right now is that dementia is a leading cause of death, and it's, in the national dialogue, not more. Everyone knows someone with dementia. When it comes to British South Asians, they have a really high susceptibility of being diagnosed with dementia, and it's due to a variety of reasons. For example, we have a lot of the risk factors. So people with diabetes and heart problems are more likely to be diagnosed with dementia, and British South Asians just happen to have higher rates of these problems. We also have the sort of lifestyles or belief systems that don't allow us to receive education on dementia as much as other ethnic minorities. Or when we do see the problems arise, if we do see people who might have symptoms of dementia, they're more likely to want to keep the issue within the family, because of things like stigma, because of beliefs that family is supposed to take care of family, we don't want outsider intervention, and all of these reasons. So my research project is looking at a very specific area, which is memory clinics. So memory clinics are where you go. You're often referred to by your GP if they think you have dementia. So you go to the memory clinic and they do lots of tests and assessments and interviews, and they then officially diagnose you. And what we're seeing is British South Asians, despite having these high rates of dementia, they're not showing up to the memory clinics. Even when they're referred, they don't show up, or they don't get a referral. When they do come to the memory clinic, before the full assessment is done, they drop out. So my project is seeing, why is this happening? Why are they not accessing this memory clinic service even though they need it? And what can I do to fix that? So we're hoping we can create some sort of toolkit which will have training for memory clinic staff, educational materials, and diagnostic tests for dementia that focus on British South Asians and improve their access into the memory clinics. It isn't essentially a new approach, more than it's building up on the sort of research we've seen in different areas. So, for example, we've seen this sort of stuff happen in primary care services, improving access to GPs and things like that. Or we've seen it for other mental health problems, so improving, access to interventions for depression or anxiety. But when it comes to dementia, this is quite new. So it's recycling old methods for a new problem. Essentially, the research project, it's taking place in the Center for Primary Care here at the university. So that group technically owns the project. So it's my specific research team. It's supervised by Dr. Vikas Wahid, who's a psychiatrist here at the university, and he's leading the first ethnic minority research and primary care division in the UK. So this is where the research is based. But we are hoping to eventually collaborate with other research groups as well as NHS trusts to get our work sort of within the system. So, to be very honest, I kind of fell into it. I had never imagined that I would go into research, that I would be doing dementia. But obviously, dementia is something that's coming up a lot. And like I said, everyone knows someone who has dementia. I know someone who has dementia. So it becomes almost personal in a certain way. So I suppose I just got interested because everybody was talking about it. And then when it comes to ethnic minorities, why focus on dementia and ethnic minority? I am an ethnic minority. I see, the struggles of British South Asians when it comes to mental health in general. So I would have wanted to get involved with ethnic minorities no matter what, even if it wasn't dementia related. It just happened to be dementia related. I think science needs better representation. I'm going to be upfront about that because, like I was saying, science is something that seems very unapproachable to the layman, something that's very exclusive and therefore not fair, something very, elitist. Or that scientists are just trying to scare everybody because it gets misportrayed all the time. We make little steps in science and then the media latches onto it we tend to overestimate knowledge and we underestimate intelligence. So not everyone knows the things that we scientists know, but that doesn't mean they don't have the capacity to understand it if we just explain it to them. I think I probably like a society that's more open-minded. I think to thrive as a society if everyone is open-minded and they're critical thinkers. I think because open-minded explores you to the idea that you might not know everything, or there's so much more to learn, there's so many different ways to be and not one way is right. And critical thinking is something that makes you question what everybody is saying you have to do. Like, I see this, different culture and religious things. No one questions, everyone just does. But if you know why you're doing something, I think that's so important. There isn't a lot about science that I feel needs improvement, probably because I haven't been exposed to the bad sides enough yet. But I do think that even within our community of scientists, there is still exclusivity. The little cliques in different fields, or there's a hierarchy, and the uppers always hang with the uppers, and the lower students always hang with the other students. And maybe, that line needs to blur. Those divisions need to fade away. One science is not more better than another science. Because I focus on mental health and psychology a lot, I hear a lot of flack about how it's not a hard science and it's not real research. And I don't think we need any of that kind of talk, because that just prevents collaboration and cooperation, and it's really unnecessary. So today, during my first year end of year Viva, they were reading my report and they said I kept saying, we did research, or we recruited, or we. And they said, you need to say I. You need to say I. And I thought that doesn't sound proper. But they're like, no, you need to take ownership that this is just your project. And I kept thinking, like, okay, fine, yeah, it is just my project. Maybe I should say I. But I feel like this is not a solo effort, because it goes way beyond, there's you. And there's your supervisor. In my case, Dr. Wagaswi. It's all the people in your department that, there's so many people I run to. Oh, you're an expert in this. Can you teach me this? Can you teach me that? Project wouldn't be possible without them. There is the family, in support that I have that I know sometimes people don't get, but I have a very, very supportive family. I have a dad and a mom who have always valued education and higher education and the importance of having a career. I have a brother who is like my best friend, who will come in the middle of the night when I'm really upset with ice cream, or, bring me food, or just take me out to the movies. I have a fiance who, when I'm really upset, will transcribe data for me, or, help me find different software I need, or just listen to me rant about the project. I have friends who have now left university and they have their own lives and their own families and careers, but who will still come running to help me when I need them. So I don't think I can emphasize enough how we keep getting told it's a solo effort, but that it really shouldn't be.